something unbelievable just happened. And no, this isn't some fan rumor or overhyped headline. Jin, from BTS, just pulled off something no one saw coming. He silently shook the entire music industry. No flashy promotions, no stages, no press tours, and yet, his voice is echoing across the world louder than ever. It all started on May 16th. That's when Jin released his second mini-album, Echo. 7 tracks, pop and rock, pure band sounds. But when you press play, it doesn't sound like just music. It sounds like him. And the title track? Don't Say You Love Me is not just a song. It's an open wound dressed in velvet. It's a soft, aching confession about a love that's ending but somehow refuses to let go. It's about the heartbreak that stays, even when the person doesn't. And it's not just the lyrics. It's the way Jin sings them. Every breath, every whisper, every falsetto. It's like he's reliving the pain with us. And the world noticed. Spotify, yeah, the world's biggest music platform, saw Don't Say You Love Me rise to #1 on its global chart just days after release. And now, it's sitting at #2 on the weekly global top song, holding its own against industry titans. That's historic. He's the only Asian artist to claim the top spot this year. But here's what's even crazier. He did it without appearing anywhere. No performances, no interviews, not even a single broadcast show. And still, he won. First place on M Countdown. Score? A jaw-dropping 7,669. And the runner-up? Over 1,700 points behind. He didn't need to be on screen because fans made sure his voice was everywhere. #DSYLM, Don't Say You Love Me first win, and BTS Jin trended globally for hours. And then there's Close to You, his OST for the drama Ask the Stars. You might think OSTs are just background songs, right? Wrong. This one changed the game. Close to You soared to #1 on iTunes in 49 countries the day it dropped. It won the Best OST at the 2025 Asia Star Entertainer Awards. And that wasn't even the start. It topped Billboard's World Digital Song Sales, swept fan votes, dominated global playlists. Why? Because Jin's voice in that song doesn't sing love. It feels like it. It's comforting, honest, emotional in a way that doesn't ask for attention. It just deserves it. And let's talk about Echo again. This wasn't some pre-packaged album made in a label boardroom. Jin wrote the lyrics. He poured himself into it. Over 90% of the words in A Trip with the Clouds are his. It's not just artistry, it's intimacy, and fans felt it. Hard. The album reached #3 on the Billboard 200. Don't Say You Love Me charted on the Hot 100 at 90. That's not easy. That's not luck. That's Jin, pure, unfiltered, and finally heard. But maybe the most beautiful thing? He thanked us. He went on Weverse and said, "Thanks to our armies being with us, this album had great results. I love you so much." No filters, no fan service, just a man quietly grateful for the love he never asked for, but always gave back tenfold. And now he's taking all this raw, honest energy on the road. His first ever solo fan concert world tour begins June 28th. Korea, Japan, the US, Europe, 18 concerts, 9 cities. And tickets? Gone in moments. Some fans couldn't even get seats and are now gathering for live play events just to watch the concert on a screen with other fans. That's how deep this love runs. Because what Jin's giving us isn't just music. It's a connection, a story, a memory. He said, "Don't say you love me, but with every note, every lyric, every stage he doesn't stand on, we feel the love anyway." He's not just a global superstar. He's someone who reminded us that being vulnerable is powerful, that love doesn't always need a spotlight, that you can be quiet and still be heard everywhere. So if you haven't listened to Echo, or Don't Say You Love Me, or Close to You, maybe it's time, not just to hear the music, but to feel it. Because Jin didn't shout, he whispered. And somehow, the whole world listened. Too late, Jin, we already love you.